Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And if you are new here, please make sure to hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe, and smash that notification. So I found a video here, right, and it says more former WWE stars come out about Vince McMahon. Here's the thing I don't understand about all this. What is everybody just coming out now all of a sudden when he sells it to TKO? I don't understand that. This is really suspicious to me. And the fact that not very many people, I think I seen like Vince Russo, he might have said something like about it, but like the fact that like, are they really trying to extort Vince McMahon or something? Because this just doesn't make sense to me, right? These text messages are weird and doesn't sound like something 80-something-year-old man would say. This is all cringe to me, and the fact that so many men are willing to just throw him under the bus is mind-blowing to me. But let's watch this video.
WWE wrestlers have tried to unionize multiple times in hopes of forcing better work conditions, but their efforts have always been quashed by McMahon and by the WWE. I want to bring in a friend of this program, Dave Meltzer. He is a sports journalist.
He's a dork.
Covering pro wrestling and MMA. He's also the editor of the Wrestling Observer newsletter and a definitive voice in this sport. You want answers?
Why? Why is he a definitive voice?
You called Dave Meltzer. Thank you for being on the show again, Dave. So Matt Riddle calls Vince McMahon a maniac.
He paints his nails green. Who's the maniac?
These are not, subtle. These are people who matter. They're people in the industry. They're people who know the culture. They know McMahon, and they're not holding back. Some people say sour grapes. Other people say, no, this is an honest assessment. What do you think?
Matt Riddle, if you know kind of how he talks, that's kind of the way he would talk. But, he was with the company and was a star with the company and had some problems and left the company.
I don't think he left. I thought he was let go. You guys check that out for me.
The thing that was interesting to me was that he was not surprised by the allegations only because, while some of the stuff, of course, we all knew.
Okay, so one, he wasn't surprised, right? He wasn't surprised. That doesn't mean he knows that they're true. He wasn't surprised, so remember that.
Stuff in the lawsuit, that shocked me. I'll just say that.
That doesn't mean it's true, though.
So I think it was Friday, we were talking about Bret Hart coming forward. Bret the Hitman Hart. Is nobody bigger, more famous than Bret the Hitman Hart?
Listen, I love Bret the Hitman Hart. He is not the most famous. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. Not the most famous.
Maybe The Rock, but...
no, or maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin. Maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin. Maybe Hulk Hogan. I don't know. Maybe. Like, this chick is beyond... You could tell she doesn't know.
Yeah. So, I feel like I just keep wondering, why didn't people come out sooner? Why did it take this one lawsuit from Janelle?
He was asking the right question.
About Roger Ailes, right? One lawsuit came out about Roger Ailes, and it just blew the doors wide open on the industry and Roger and the disciples and et cetera. But why didn't more people come forward sooner if there was this much suffering?
Fear. Vince McMahon was the king. He was the guy who decided, if you were a success or you were a failure, and nobody wanted to cross him. That's all it really was, and some people didn't want to believe. He was a father figure to a lot of these people. So It was like, if they would hear stuff, it was like, he's just a good old boy and all that, and would want to defend him. And a lot of them saw this and changed their opinion. And some of them probably had a hard time changing their opinion because it was fueled by years and years of kind of worshiping, like you do a match and you want Vince's approval. And, that's what a lot of these guys, I've seen guys that had great matches and Vince didn't think they had a great match and was like, they get shaken because it was always about Vince's approval because Vince is the ultimate decision maker on your.
Right, which is what it should be. It's his company, but that doesn't mean that he's sex trafficking. That doesn't mean anything. Dave Meltzer is a dummy. He literally...
Dummy, yeah.
Career.
It's like the story we keep hearing about sexual harassment over and over. These were kingmakers. They felt like father figures. They were kind and helpful, and then suddenly it all turned to sexual advances. And oh dear God, what do I do now? I'm going to lose everything I've built for the.
Now, who's to say somebody else wasn't throwing out the sexual advances? We don't know the whole situation. I don't know why everybody's so quick to judge it when they don't even know. I'll tell you this much. Mark my word. If Vince McMahon does not go to prison over this, I don't believe any of it. I don't care if the chick gets paid $1, $1 million, $100 million, $1 billion, if she gets to own the WWE after it's all said and done. I don't care. I don't believe it then.
The last 20 years, if I don't, succumb to what this jerk wants. So Bruce Pritchard.
Why is he a jerk? You don't even know him.
He's being accused by Ronda Rousey of really being being controlled by the Svengali man. He's just the puppet. Is that true? Is that your assessment? Because if that's the case, then her accusation and others have said this guy is really just an avatar for Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon's still running the show. He hasn't left at all. What do you think?
Now that's pathetic of Ronda Rousey to say that, right? Because Bruce Pritchard didn't do anything wrong. He's not in any of these accusations, I don't believe. I think he's still working for WWE, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. I don't really pay attention to it too much. But why is she throwing him under the bus? What did he do?
I mean, Bruce Pritchard's rep has always been, loyal to Vince, yes man to Vince. Now, as far as like today, is that the case? I don't know. As far as the last time, I'm sure. They had a relationship dating back to the mid '80s. So it would be, of course that, if,
why wouldn't he be?
If Vince is completely gone, that's one thing. But if he's got like a step in there and he's not completely gone, yeah, he's going to talk to Bruce, of course.
I only have like 10 seconds left, but I do got to get you on this, Dave. The number of wrestlers who died before the age of 50 and 60 and the grueling nature of the work that they've done. Do you think something's going to...
It comes with the business. It comes with the territory. You got to understand that these things could happen. It's just like football with concussions. You have to understand that it could happen.
Happen. Do you think this can of worms is going to open up and suddenly everything's going to be questioned? The deaths of all of these people, it's all going to be questioned based on the culture of the WWE.
Well, the one thing.
How many of these people died of drugs or alcohol? Andre the Giant was a giant. What? This is the most ridiculous list in the world. How are they going to have a list like this, right? And not even have, what's his name on there? The dude that D'Lo powerbombed and broke his neck. Didn't he pass away just recently? What is going on? This is the most ridiculous list in the world. This has nothing to do with wrestling. Andre the Giant was a giant. Mr. Perfect died of drug overdose. I don't remember the rest. I think Rick Rude did too. Davey Boy Smith was a crackhead. The Road Warriors. The Road Warriors? The dude was an alcoholic. This is crazy to me, dude. The Macho Man Randy Savage was a roid rager. Dude, this is the most pathetic list in the world.
What I'll say is that era, they have made lots and lots of changes. The schedule isn't nearly as tough as it used to be. I mean, it was brutal in the 80s and the 90s. And then by the late 90s, somewhat because of this, because of the painkiller stuff and because they started drug testing and things like that, it did get better. It's not as bad as it once was, but that track record in the 80s, the schedule that those guys were on was so brutal. I mean, it almost boggles my mind when I think back on that era.
It hurts to see some of those documentaries when Ric Flair talks about what he went through and a lot of his colleagues, etc. I said it before, I'll say it again. You want answers, you call Dave Meltzer. Thank you for being here again tonight. Really appreciate it. Thank you for watching.
This is pathetic. I'm sorry, guys. This is pathetic. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Have a good one. Peace.